bigger names, but you don't show their films. You show the thing that they care about. So when I was thinking about this years ago, I thought John Boyega loves anime.
Oh, okay.
So if you were to pitch it to John Boyega, like, I'll get you train, I'll get you hotel, pay for this, whatever. Would you come up and we're going to show Akira? Do you want to talk about Akira beforehand? I feel like that's going to be a lot more of a pull than like, you want to talk about Attack the Block?
Yeah.
Talk about Star Wars? He fucking doesn't. But it's that like, you know what I mean? I feel like if you approach them in more of a, here's the thing you love, because you don't want to do a talk before a zombie film.
Well, that's why I chose it. Well, that's what they originally wanted me to do, you see. Obviously. I mean, no, it's fair enough. They're not, when they initially contacted me, it's like, can we do, I don't know, Dawn of the Dead or something? And I was like, I said, I've got no real affiliation. Not affiliation, that's the wrong word. No real, I don't feel that connected to that film at all. No. So can we do the thing? That's basically what I said. Can we do something that's not zombies? Something let's just do a horror movie that I like. Without also getting wanky and pretentious with zombies and shit. The idea of isolation and you not being able to get away from something that's inevitably going to get you. The Thing is more in line with Walking Dead than Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is like very much just attack. Run. That's not what Walking Dead really was. Walking Dead was more about that community and the isolation that was slowly just losing its humanity, which is more like The Thing. So The Thing is a better. I think The Thing would have been a better, as it is, a better one for you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're not going to talk about zombies. That's all right. Yeah. Good. Unless all of your answers for the questions. I'll just gear it all back to The Walking Dead. Back to The Walking Dead. Should we begin, or have we begun? I will use as much of this as I can, if that's okay. Excellent. But I will do Welcome to Your Life and Film. I am Ted Bennett. With me this week is Charlie Adlard. Charlie is the artist, and are you credited as co-creator? Not officially. So not officially, so that's not in there. But the artist. But I am. But he is. Michonne's his character of The Walking Dead. You may have seen The Walking Dead on every spin-off that's ever come out for it. I don't know how many there are. Even I don't know. You just accept the checks. Exactly. I don't care. No, just a whore. When it comes to that, someone decided that they were going to blow up your idea, as it were, with The Walking Dead, and they want to take care of it. And if that means you just get a lovely, you get to reap the benefits of it, I think that's fine. But I think if you were actively engaged with it, if you were, pushing for more and more shows, I think then that would be a bit like, come on. But if someone else wants to do it, absolutely. I mean, that's it. You either go one direction or the other. You either go full-on involvement, someone like Mike Mignola doing Hellboy, or even Robert Kirkman doing The Walking Dead. Whatever they got fully engaged, or you go the Alan Moore route without the slagging off of all the films that get made of his stuff. But it's literally wash my hands. He even famously gave all his money to David Lloyd for V for Vendetta. The money. Yeah, he's decent. I don't think there's no hiding the fact that the guy's obviously a fairly principled, decent fella at the end of the day. But disregarding his sort of moans and everything about every film that's made, he's always said, and I completely agree with him. He said, what I do is the comic or whatever the source material is, and that's will always be there. That's what I believe in. That's the source material. To me, that's The Walking Dead. I think that is the best way to do it, because if you do become too in your head of owning that IP in every avenue it takes, when does that give you time to create anything new? No, that's why I never. I was asked, but I never took them up on the offer, which was to contribute towards
designing, not necessarily designing, but conceptual art, storyboards, whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was just taking me out of doing the comic.
Also,
and it felt to me like going back.
Storyboards for episodes. You can
look at the book.
Look at all of the fucking
yeah, exactly. So
I've storyboarded this out for 10 years. Crack on.
16.
16. Sorry. Well, showing how far I read. I didn't read 10 years worth. But no, it is interesting, and I think it's nice that because Walking Dead was a big deal, obviously, before it became a show, but it wasn't a massive deal, if you know what I mean. Like it was selling units, but it wasn't. Marvel and DC weren't looking to buy it. It wasn't one of those situations.
Well, no, I don't think that would be, at the time, that would certainly not be in their remit anyway.
No,
but
not at that time, yeah.
No, we were doing fine. I was more than happy with how things were progressing, regardless of it being a TV show or not, or a film or whatever. No, the book was doing really well. I was earning a decent living out of it before it was, all exploded.
Obviously, there's always the key exceptions when it comes to people in the arts. There's more professional NBA players than there are professional writers or something stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
wow.
bonkers. So the fact that you had, you earned a good living being an illustrator or do you refer to yourself as a cartoonist?
Initially, I referred to myself as a cartoonist, but if you want to go on a deeper dive, I suppose comic book artist, comic book illustrator. It's all kind of muchness.
Fair, yeah.
But
that's it's the idea that anyone can make a living off it, let alone it blowing up. You're already doing great things there. But it's weird that this was your. Not your third IP, because it only became an IP well after you had.
Well, it was the first IP I had that. It went that way.
Yeah,
it went from what we originated to movie stroke television. Yeah,
because you did Mars Attacks for Tops.
I did, yes.
So it's. But there was no Tim Burton never came to you guys.
No. Even though it came out before the film.
Yeah.
No, it was completely unconnected. Burton took his stuff completely from the cards. I don't know. I think he might. I've got the making of Mars Attacks, the movie,
right,
upstairs, and it does mention the comic. So I am assuming he was aware of the comic.
He'd flicked through.
He'd probably flicked through it, but it was a different. It was a different ball game. Well, and it was a different. We were approaching it differently than Burton obviously wanted to approach it.
Yeah.
So, which is fine.
But you're a fan of the film as well, aren't you?
I love the film. I think it's one of Burton's best movies, by far.
Well, there we go. That's what we should.
Is that controversial?
I don't know. Maybe that's the question for that one. No,
because it's just, it's all part of that real exclusive little bunch of movies that are insane, batshit crazy.
Yeah.
But work.
Yeah.
Because most of those sort of movies tend to not work.
No, they
I don't know how it's that magic sauce. It's that I'll lump that in with Gremlins 2. They're two very similar movies because they're plotless.
Yeah.
There's no plot. It's a bunch of just crazy stuff happening. It's gags. It's almost like Warner Brothers sort of style cartoons, but writ live action on the screen.
It was a Warner Brothers film, though.
It was, actually. No.
Perfect.
Is Gremlins Warner Brothers as well? That would be weird if it was.
I
can't think. But yeah, anyway, it suited Burton because Burton's not interested in plot anyway. Because the only plotted movie I like of Burton is Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, my other favourite Burton films, i.e. Batman and Batman Returns, are kind of plotless as well.
Best Batmans, though, in my opinion. Best Batmans.
Oh, absolutely best Batmans. Best Batmans, yeah. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. And every time he tries to do with plot...
Yeah, it gets a bit too sentimental and it loses where it's going.
Well, he's not. The thing is, he tries to do a plot, but he's not interested in plot.
He's interested in what it looks like.
Yeah, and which tends to be exactly the same.
Yes. Yes.
It was unique for the first sort of, I don't know, 4 or 5 films.
Sure.
But actually, the funny thing is, I think Mars Attacks has a unique. It's the one that stands out in terms of
it doesn't
visual.
look like a Tim Burton film.
It doesn't.
In all the others, because all the others have that sort of
Curly hills and stripes.
yeah, and that 50s kitsch, or 50s 60s kitsch. Even no matter what era we're trying to be in, we're doing something else.
Yeah.
And Mars Attacks doesn't have that.
Mm.
I mean, it has some elements of, Sarah Jessica Parker. I think she's wearing.
Oh, she's very 60s in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And it's got Pierce Brosnan smoking a pipe, looking the best Reed Richards you could possibly look like.
The Reed Richards that could have been.
He could, exactly, especially smoking the pipe. Perfect.
I've always thought about getting a pipe, but only to
just
make a point,
Oh, yeah.
Never to actually
point with the pipe. Yeah.
Give it all of that. But then as soon as being like, but yeah, I'll do that. And then obviously you also had the X-Files.
Yes.
So that was when did you? I can imagine. Yeah. When did you come onto that? Was it after?
That was after Mars Attacks because it was the same company, Tops,
yeah.
and basically they just acquired the rights and they'd taken a punt with the X-Files as a company because they didn't know whether it was going to be a hit or not.
So what series was it at when the comic came out?
Oh, it was right at the beginning. Literally.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was, we started adapting it. Well, we didn't adapt it. We just did our own stories, but with the same characters.
But was it Chris Carter that was writing them?
No. It was a guy. Initially, the best issues are written by a guy called Stefan Petruka,
right?
who I'm sort of still in touch with a bit here and there. Those are really good episodes. And I think he wrote he did, whether it was the first 12 issues or at least he did the first year's run. And I really enjoyed working on those. And after Stefan, inverted commas, left, it went kind of downhill from there. It never really, in my opinion, never really recovered. That's why I ended up leaving as well.
How many issues did you do of that?
I can't remember exactly how many. I can't exactly remember how many issues, but it's probably about 24, 30. I remember doing it for about 2 years.
Okay.
But then I did these things. I did a couple of outside of the main run. I did these sort of little they were little. You remember the American TV Guide, that format, that sort of small. I don't know what they call that.
Well, it's like the old Archie books were like that.
Yeah. And it's like how your Commando, all those British comics that size. We did 3 of those, so they were 60 odd pages each. But of course, it was only maximum 3 panels a page, so they weren't exactly, So I remember doing those on top of everything else, and some other fiddly things. I mean, apparently, I actually at the time drew the best-selling comic book ever.
Oh, really?
Not because we did a 3 or 4 page story in TV Guide.
Well done, sir.
And I remember Top saying, you do realise, because it sells X at the time, obviously it sells in bloody America, it sells, untold millions at the time. So it was like, hey, I've done a comic book that sold millions of copies, in your face, Jim Lee and X-Men.
Yeah, put that on the old CV. Yeah. That'll get it bought. and it wasn't because you'd done a saucy cover image of Mulder and Scully. No, nothing like that.
No saucy images. No.
Did you ever meet them, Mulder and Scully?
No, good God, no. It was all very much just us in our little bubble doing our little thing.
Fair enough.
I don't think they even had. I might be wrong. No, I don't. No, they didn't. They didn't even have. Unlike the Star Trek cast, they didn't have image copyright or anything like that. So I don't think it was even ever passed under their, noses to approve or anything like that.
Really?
I'm glad in a lot of ways.
Why do you think you did them a disservice?
Well, no, yeah, because my likenesses were so terrible. No, it was because it would just been another, factor of just delays. There was enough interference with, because it still had to go under non-comic people's noses at Chris Carter, the showrunner, his company, and was it Fox, wasn't it? 20th Century Fox? Yeah, 20th Century Fox people there. So it still had to go through two companies to get approval. So that was long enough without having to go through the bloody egos of cast as well. You imagine what a pain it would be to do Star Trek books. Because literally, I think everyone, well, at least I know for a fact, at least the main cast had image approval. Yeah. So you imagine old William Shatner going, "It doesn't look like me."
Well, that hairline looks a bit further back than I'd like it.
Yes.
Bloody hell,
you make me look
rubbish.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that at all.
It's terrible because you're just trying to tell you. Because obviously they all want to look good. Yeah. And
they're actors, that is.
And they don't. I mean, perhaps I'm just kind of painting a very broad brush here, but I mean, no one understands comics. They just think with the X-Files, people just assumed that their criticism was always, well, that doesn't look like them. And I was like, yes, because it's a comic. It's not a photo story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bearing in mind 20th Century Fox, I have to draw 22 pages of this a month. So that's you're talking probably easily 30 odd likenesses of Mulder and Scully each per issue. Am I really going to get it right every single time?
Bloody hell.
And of course, this was before internet.
Yeah.
So all I had to go on were publicity stills.
And that's not a good one because they did so many silly ones, if you know what I mean. Like, none of them are just candid, which is what you need.
Yeah, you need expressions.
Yeah.
They're not publicity stills. They're all just like dead, just straight faces. So it's like, oh, great. If I want them just looking dead-eyed, I can do that. But yeah, what happens if I want them smiling?
Walking Dead. Yeah, so I guess that is. I mean, also we're ignoring the other one that you.
Yes.
The other
Sorry.
one. No. I'll get a glass of water as well. Obviously, you also did. You started with Dread.
Yeah.
So I mean, Dread now became. Wait, what year did you do Dread first?
Well, I didn't start with Dread. Well, yeah, I literally started with Dread for 10 pages. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
And then moved on into the world of Dread, but not Dread himself.
But what year did you start with Dread?
Oof, I'm terrible with dates. It was roughly 91, 92, something like that.
So again, it was before Stallone's film.
Yep.
So much like Mars Attacks was before Burton's film, and you were on the cusp with it. The IPs that you have been attached to that have all become film and TV media, was there ever that sort of choice to go for those things? Obviously, you didn't know they were going to turn into them, but was there a feeling that certain things had a cinematic flair to them that you could get your eye around, and that's why they've become it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No. It was money, wasn't it?
Always follow the money. Well, no, seriously. It was just, you want to make a living, obviously, because you can't do it without earning the money. So I just pursued the job after job after job. It was just wherever it was leading me. There was no rhyme nor reason to. I didn't have a battle plan or anything like that. Well, I did have a battle plan, but it was just to keep working. Yeah. That was my battle plan. Fortuitously, things turned out all right in the end. I mean, there's, it is fairly obvious, but there's two absolute points of my career, sections of my career, pre-Walking Dead, post-Walking Dead. It's as simple as that because, the amount of freedom it's enabled me to do post-Walking Dead is so different to what the limitations I had pre-Walking Dead.
Right.
So, you're just constantly, it's being, the difference is being between being a journeyman artist pre-Walking Dead and whatever the opposite of a journeyman artist is. I don't think there's a description
No.
for the opposite.
Without being whatever, there are very few of you that I think are now given that free rein. There's the big names that are given the free rein and stuff to kind of do what you want now. But there aren't that many people that get to do it because...
No, there aren't. Some people are very lucky, obviously. Yeah.
But I mean, you say luck. I remember things you've told me in the past, which is always just, be reliable and do what you say you'll do. And that'll always be looked upon better than...
Yeah,
like you might be able to do better art.
Yeah.
But if it's always late, no one wants that.
No, exactly.
So, you say luck, but it is also a personality and a sort of a work ethic that I think brings a lot more to that.
It improves your chances, put it that way.
That's true.
Yes, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we are in your home cinema today. You can only see Vertigo,
I think.
And
Goldfinger. Yeah.
But we've also got Raiders, Alien, The Thing, which I love that poster for The Thing.
It's great. It's so much better than the Drew Struzan one.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And then Empire.
Yep.
So film was kind of how you and I started to get to know each other. So I know your current tastes, but what was the first thing you saw at the cinema?
First ever film I saw at the cinema was Robin Hood, the Disney.
The Errol Flynn one?
No, the Disney. Oh, I'd be so sophisticated if it was, wasn't it? Oh, Father, take me to the Errol Flynn.
I wish to see Errol Flynn.
Yes, I wish to see the Errol Flynn Robin Hood.
The animated one,
the Disney Fox one, yeah. Okay. And I think looking back on it now, because that would have been mid-70s. I'm pretty sure now it must have been on its initial release.
Okay.
Because obviously I didn't know at the time, but of course you got used to, because Disney obviously always had that thing before obviously VHS and everything, of re-releasing each animation.
Yes.
I think they had a 7-year rotation or something like that. Or whatever it was, So, and it wouldn't have been on one of those because that would have because obviously Robin Hood was mid-70s, and if it was on a rotation, it would have been 80-something, I'd have seen it. So, and it definitely wasn't that. So, and it was in Wales, in Pwllheli, of all places.
Why were you up there? Because you're a Shrewsbury native.
Yeah, well, my mum and dad had a holiday sort of place up there, halfway up in this small cottage, and
so the older I get, the more I understand that. My parents, we left London when I was about 6, and at the time I was like, "Why do you want to live in the middle of the countryside? Like, God, no, I can't see all my mates and do stuff." And now I'm getting to about the same age they got when they moved, and every time I'm always just saying to Kirsty, like, "Let's just go buy a field." Miles around so no one can get to me. Like, living halfway up a mountain, it's like, it sounds lovely.
Yeah. Well, again, I think I probably had the same attitude as that's probably. Yeah, I think my mum and dad had that up until I was about 12, something like that. So yeah, you missed your friends.
You did.
We did have friends up. Actually, quite often, but not the same.
I was always jealous of my friends who lived like on estates because they got to after school all hang out on the
street or whatever. Yeah.
And I had to live in the lovely countryside with acres of field around. But yeah, so anyway, so you saw Robin Hood. Do you reckon there's any seeing animation that big for the first time? Do you think that influenced a future career in illustration.
Oh, not Robin Hood especially. No.
I mean, the cell shading in the
yeah. I mean,
multi-layered.
I did like the combination. This probably goes to me why I like, let's call it by its proper name, bande dessinée, which is French comic books. I did like that combination of sort of the flat line art of the animation and the beautifully painted sort of backdrops and backgrounds and everything.
And how they were painted on multiple levels.
Yeah.
And then rolled.
Yeah.
So that scenery went at a slower pace when someone was running. Do you know about this?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to be like...
No.
And then, having each layer all different, it's such a beautiful technique.
It's a great,
It's just like, that's...
Well, actually, just as an aside, there was what I first realised about that, when I first realised about that technique was not animation, that was Thunderbirds. Because in Thunderbirds, what they used to do was, or any of the Jerry Anderson sort of shows, if you've got
Mysterons guy.
but the same thing. If you've got a futuristic jet taking off, right? So the jet is obviously stationary, and they're rolling the runway, but behind them they've got two planes of background.
Oh, moving
slowly. So you haven't got a stationary background. You've just got the mountains or whatever it might be, just moving a lot slower.
Love
you see
old effects.
Yeah,
so
and it works so well, doesn't it? It just works brilliantly.
Oh God, that's so.
It's just so convincing, and it's just 2 or 3 planes, and that's it.
I love it.
Well, funny enough, I remember because we were on holiday quite a lot, so we'd go to that Pwllheli, which is not a big place. It's on the coast, so it was a bit of a you could go to the beach and all that malarkey, and it had a Butlins just down the road. So
why are we talking about the cinema? Tell me more about Butlins. I've never been to a Butlins.
No, no, I haven't either. But it had 2 cinemas. Even back then, I know, 2 cinemas in a place of probably no more than 20,000 people, if that, like population. And when I saw Robin Hood, that was the first cinema to close down. And I vaguely remember going there a few more times. The other biggest memory I had of going there was to see The Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh, nice.
In fact, I got a better memory of that than seeing Robin Hood.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but I do remember it had another film, which I can't remember now. It was a double feature.
Yeah, nice,
even though it was like it must have been The Spy Who Loved Me's initial sort of release.
Run,
so, but they even put another movie with it, so it was like a double feature. So I must have been in the cinema for bloody ages.
I always think that when they give you the 2 features.
That's like 4 or 5 hours in there,
And I know that like Easy Rider was the B movie to some things,
right, yeah.
So you got some absolute gold, but
yeah.
that's not a short film, And if
Spy Who Loved Me is well over 2 hours.
You've got that, a brief intermission, and then another film.
Yeah.
You get the pictures at what, like 6 o'clock at night, and then not coming out till midnight. I mean, that sounds lovely.
I genuinely can't remember. But yeah, I saw quite a few, shall we say, formative films of my...
At that cinema?
At those cinemas, just because I was on holiday, and what else are you going to do because we'd literally go up there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
Oh, yeah, proper...
Yeah.
Just...
You're gone.
Oh, it's summer holidays, let's go up there for, that long. So, what are you going to do? On a rainy... Oh, you're in Wales on a rainy day.
They're rare. They're rare. I don't know what you think. No wonder there's 2 cinemas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I also remember actually the other big memory of those cinemas is the one that lasted, because that other one closed probably in the early 80s, I think. The other one that lasted was like an old theatre type cinema, so it had a balcony and like a wraparound balcony. I remember going to see The Deep there. What's that, 1981?
Nick Nolte.
Was it Nick Nolte?
So it's a...
I can't remember. All I can remember...
book, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a Nick Nolte film.
Nick Nolte's in it. Oh, God, it must be one of his first...
Early doors.
Yeah. But it was early 80s, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah, and Robert Shaw.
Really?
Yeah. He
bloody
plays
hell.
like the
I'm going to have to look up the
deep
cast.
sea.
please.
I own it. I'll,
Oh, you got it, right.
I've got a copy. I think
Right.
I bought the 101 did a release of it. So
Right.
Yeah,
All I
think
remember,
I-
it had a killer eel, electric eel or something
Yeah.
in it, didn't it?
definitely had that. Did you
Yeah.
ever read it?
No.
It's not.
Not great.
It's not as fun.
All right.
Not as fun as yours to read. But
But I remember going to see The Deep, and I remember that's the one and only time the film broke, watching The Deep.
oh wow.
So in the cinema, and suddenly it did that thing. Well, it did the thing that Gremlins 2 did brilliantly, which is suddenly the film just burns.
Yeah.
Suddenly it just went that, and the screen just went white.
Terrifying.
And everyone sat in the cinema going, what's happening now? And I could hear shouting from the projection booth. I remember that, obviously arguing.
Yeah. As a projectionist, I've only ever had. I've been in a screen when there was a burnout, and I've been a projectionist during a burnout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Only one though. It didn't happen as often because usually the lamp would like shut, or
Right.
before it got to the point of burning out, you would shut the like manual shutter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it didn't burn through. But
How did you know it was going to burn then?
because you get a brain wrap.
What's that? A brain wrap?
So
Sounds fun.
they're not. They're terrifying if you're not expecting them.
Right.
So films are on big platters.
Well, yes.
And then you do all that. But then you put this Variac brain unit. No, the Variac's on the slider, but you put a brain unit in which you meant to lace a certain way so that it peels the film off the reel and it doesn't get kinked or sort of like caught on anything. Sometimes the film is a bit sticky, or it's old and it's just a bit knackered, or it's a bit torn. And it kind of just doesn't feed through quick enough. So then the film keeps spinning at its normal speed, but the brain unit just gets wrapped in film.
Oh, no.
And
right.
You can.
So it's just piling up, basically.
It's just getting tighter and tighter onto that brain unit.
Yeah.
Now, if you catch that early, you disconnect the motor and you just spin the tray the wrong way.
Right.
And then you kind of like loosen it off and then you try and get the thing out. Sometimes it would catch and you didn't get there in time. And then because it was just not moving here and all the gears and cogs are pulling the thing through, the film would just snap and tear.
Right,
And that's it. And then you'd have to go over, turn the film off, find the two bits, clean the cuts off, splice it back together, relace it, and put it back on.
That's quite a long time then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't take long. You're meant to be very quick on it.
Right, okay.
And then other times is you get a burnout where it doesn't snap like above or below, if that makes sense. Like if it snaps at certain points going into the turret, then the motor will just feed what's left out. But if it gets caught at a very specific point and the film is in the trap, then it will burn through, and then you'll get a burnout.
Oh,
So,
can you remember what film that was?
I don't remember that film.
Oh, right.
The worst thing I remember at the cinema was when I dropped a print, and it was Moliere.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never seen that film, and I never will, because it was in my first 2 weeks I dropped a print. And
I mean, literally, you were carrying the reel out of the canister. I presume.
I was taking it off the platter onto the rewind bench, and I forgot to put the middle support ring in.
Right.
So as soon as I turned the motor on, it just
Oh my God! It just like frisbeed out. Oh,
and I did not know what to do because I was new, and I was just panicking, and it was my first like solo shift.
Oh.
And then the next day I came in, and it was just all in a bin bag. And Rich,
So this is the Cineworld.
yeah, this was at Cineworld,
God.
and Rich, I came in, I was like, "Did you save it?" And he just took a swig of his coffee and just went like that, and there was just a bin bag on the side, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And he went, "It's fine, it's fine." And then he went, and then Aidan, one of the guys that we worked with, was just like, he was saying, "Why the fuck did we hire him?"
Oh, really?
And I was like, "Oh fucking hell!" But I worked there for another 2 years, so. But yeah,
Wonderful.
there's some good stuff in that booth. But yes, so yeah, I think when you had to go to the cinema to experience your cinematic films, it's odd. I've heard a few people now say that either a Disney reissue was the first thing they saw at the cinema, or a Bond film, because I guess they're...
Well, they were once every 2 or 3 years, so you're going to catch one.
Now? Will we get a Star Wars film every fucking year, or a Marvel film every fucking year?
Well, it would have been something. Well, nothing. Well, yeah, it's probably the equivalent of seeing a Marvel film, isn't it? Well, that's even more bloody regular, isn't it?
Right.
You know,
content.
Oh, well, exactly. Yeah.
But so, if you had to go to the cinema, what was the films that you watched over and over again as a kid?
Well, I rarely, because it's just such, as a kid, it's something you just can't do that. And especially because living here or being on holiday in Wales, you know, here there was just the one cinema, you know.
Yeah, the old ABC.
And it was called the Empire back when I was a kid. One screen. So there wasn't that much opportunity to see a film multiple times. You know, I do remember seeing, I think I went to The Empire Strikes Back twice.
Nice.
I can't remember I would have thought I'd have gone to see Star Wars twice, because, you know, the impact that film had on me as a kid was just so...
How old were you in 77?
I was 11. But Star Wars came out in 78 here, didn't it?
Okay.
So I was, 12. Going on 13.
What I was thinking more was, did you have the sort of ability to just take yourself to the cinema at that age?
I remember going to see. I'm not sure about Star. You see, this is the weird thing. I can't remember whether I saw Star Wars with my mum or dad. Probably would have been my dad, actually. Yeah, I think I probably would have seen it with my dad, because being 11, I definitely saw Empire. Oh, by that time I was 14, so yeah. Bloody adult, yeah. Yeah, I definitely saw Empire on my own.
Yeah.
Or with friends, I can't remember. I definitely saw it again on my own. I remember doing that. In fact, I saw it 2.5 times. For some reason, I came in... Well, no, weirdly, I came in halfway through the movie. I'd already seen it the once, so it wasn't like a spoiler. I remember coming in halfway through the film, and they just let me in. So I watched it that half, waited, and then watched it again. So, bit weird. Yeah.
A bit weird.
And then it's not like a multi-screen cinema where you can just sneak in and
so I was going to say,
between.
like, maybe you went into the wrong one, but no, the Empire was a one-screener.
It was just one screener with you know, a person on the door.
I tell you, I did like that. The one down Mardle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that cinema, because it was open for a couple of years after we moved here, before it got turned into a fucking Pizza Express.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing Men in Black.
Oh, okay.
There.
Right.
And the dream for me is to one day have my own cinema, but also for it to be its own freestanding building.
Oh, okay.
So when I go in, there would be a little concession stand.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to go through, and then there'd be the little, there'd be the screening room, and upstairs or behind and slightly higher, there'd be a little booth where I would have all my ways of watching films. But it would look like a scaled down version of a cinema, just in that way.
Right, and very cool.
The idea was I would do it a bit like how the ABC was, because I remember you'd go in, and it was red and a bit like low lit. Yeah. And there was like...
Yeah, the box office was literally on your left as soon as you went in. And then there was the concession stands next to it on your left. Film posters on the right.
And then there was like a little display cabinet just when you were about to go through.
Of any merchandise or memorabilia or anything like that.
There was these Super Soakers that were Men in Black themed.
Oh, okay.
That were on sale there, and I thought that was wonderful.
They always had at least a film poster, obviously, for what was on, and then a couple of coming soon film posters as well. So, which is just one of the things you think about when you think of multi-screen cinemas now, how little film posters there are.
I used to take so many film posters when I worked at the cinema, because every week you'd be updating them. Yeah. And you'd be like, well, that's a cool one. I got one of the original Cloverfield ones where they hadn't put the name on it yet.
Oh, really?
Because the teaser for it was just the Statue of Liberty missing its head.
Yeah.
And
And no name.
And no name. And it was just meant to be like, what the fuck's that?
Right.
And I got one of those.
I've got a Mystery Men banner.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was in that was Cineworld, and they were literally. I think we went to see it on the last day it was out, and whoever was working there at the time, I remember they were taking this massive banner thing. It was literally as big as the screen there, and I just said, "What are you doing with that?" And they sort of just shrugged and went, "Probably go in the bin." I said, "Can I have it?" They went, "Yeah, if you want."
I had...
and I've still got it rolled up somewhere.
Put it up somewhere. Use it as a blind. I had the Master and Commander one.
Oh, really?
Don't know why. It was probably the width of that wall.
Yeah,
It
massive.
was the stumper but longer ones that went down the corridor, not the tall ones that went in the window.
Right.
And when my brother worked there, he got that. And then when I worked there, family business, I would get the posters and then also the cardboard standees.
Yeah.
So I had the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh.
But I had the full size standee that was the entire height of my bedroom and took up probably like a third of it in the middle.
Bloody
and
hell.
it was just, I had that there.
Right.
I loved it. I loved it.
Shame about the movie.
Yeah.
But a great cardboard standee.
Cardboard standee. Yeah. But yeah, now when I go to the cinema, there's just, the posters are just,
Oh, well,
matter of fact.
Don't get me started on film. I mean, if only they could always do that. There's so many really good, still really well designed and inventive teaser trailer type posters. Don't get me wrong, that the imagination is running wild with those. But as soon as it becomes the general release ones, it's just, they just fall on the ultimate generic
Floating
imagery for everything.
I just don't know why people don't paint them still. Like, to me, a painted film poster is where it's at.
Because the general public love a photograph. They just love realism. That's why I find, I know, I am constantly as artists, we constantly battle against this. It's like you doing stuff for yourself, you suddenly over the years, it's not much of a surprise to learn that the two things the general public like, and I'm not insulting the general public because
you heard it here first, everyone.
But we're not all artists. There's a lot of things I can't do, which I'm sure people would hang their head in shame over what I can't do. So this is no criticism, but in terms of art, what the general public like are detail and realism. It's as simple as that. And the more detail you can put in, the better. The more realism you can put in, the better, regardless of any element of design.
It's because people are so afraid of not understanding art.
Yeah.
So when
That's why the Bloody Haywain by Constable is one of the most popular pictures ever. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason for it.
Sorry, it's the second time you've ragged on Constable to me.
Have I?
And I love that you're like, fucking stupid.
Stupid Constable.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think people are very quick to not understand and then get upset and irritated that they don't understand if something's not even abstract, but something's just a bit different and they don't understand it. So when it's photorealistic, whenever I see those photorealistic paintings, I'm always like, that's very technically impressive.
That's fair. I couldn't do it to save my life. It's incredibly, technically, it's brilliant.
But I would actually rather a photograph.
Yeah.
Because I feel a bit like...
Well, the technique's so good because the artist has hidden his technique. His technique is good enough to hide the technique. Therefore, why not just look at a photograph? Because you can't look at that painting and get inspired by it because it's so bloody perfect.
Yeah. And that's the thing that my dad always used to say to me about going to like National Gallery or something, is that you'd go into those exhibits where paintings were from fucking 1500, whatever. And you get as close as you like and you can see a brush mark. And he was like, 500 years ago, someone put that brush mark in, you see the movement of the like the bristle marks. You can see how it's gone down. You can see where it's layered on top of something, and you can see that if you get up close, that doesn't really make sense. But when you blow it up, oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
And that's just from one brush stroke. But when you get to those hyper realistic ones, it's like you can't even see the brush strokes. It's like, all right,
great,
cool.
So what am I getting from this?
So I may as well just be looking at a photo now.
Yeah.
Now there's no grain in that photo. It's like,
yeah.
but texture adds atmosphere. No, okay. But hey, what would we know?
No, absolutely no. So I do mourn the loss of the great film poster,
and we are losing the artists for it. I mean, like we mentioned Drew a moment ago, and we also lost.
I've forgotten the name of that guy. Yes, the guy that did
the Star Wars guy. We lost him recently, and it's just all very.
Yeah, Bob Peak, obviously a classic.
Yeah,
I mean, he died quite a while back, obviously, but
no one's picking up the pieces.
I assume he's gone as well.
Ansel must have gone.
Yeah,
Rosetta?
Yeah. Oh, he died a while back. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like it's just. I don't feel like anyone's.
No one's picking up. There aren't really anyone doing that. Well, because it's not commercially viable anymore. There are, I'm sure, I am sure there are people who can paint like these guys you've just mentioned, but they aren't doing it, and they're not doing it commercially because there's no one's going to. There's a very, very, very niche market out there for that sort of stuff.
Yes,
but like Mondo, for instance, but it's very niche, and most of those people probably make more of a living out of doing it as commissions for private collectors as opposed to commercial enterprises, because it doesn't sell. It literally doesn't sell anymore.
But do you, you don't have to answer this, but do you do much in the realms of private commission?
No, I don't. No.
Is that through choice or through lack?
No, that's through choice. Just because... I've got a very particular view of doing commissions in terms of this goes to playing music in a band as well. It's a lot easier to play to a bigger audience than one or two people, because when you're playing to an audience, and this is obviously with comics as well. If it doesn't freak me out that I'm drawing for X thousand readers. No. Because you're going to hit
law of averages.
Law of averages. Somebody's going to like your work.
Yes.
Whereas if you're doing it as a commission for one person, that one person has to like your work.
The disappointment can't be sort of hidden if they're like, oh,
is that it?
Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting an original piece of art, dickhead. Yes, that is what you're getting.
Yes, but and I've kind of learnt my lesson from that as well, because I've commissioned people in the past.
Oh, really?
Artists to do it, and I got to admit, I'm never going to do it again. I've only done it a couple of times, but each time it's been disappointing, because I've said to them, thinking that this is what they want to hear, I know what you're going through, because I'm an artist myself, so just do what you want to do and I'll accept it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I have accepted them.
But you've gone, what was this?
As good as I preferred the thing that I saw in the gallery.
A better one over there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. The best thing to do if you're buying artwork like that is just literally go in a gallery, go to a dealer or whatever, and just look through the stuff and go, I love that one.
Yes.
Buy that one.
I do agree with that. Yeah. I think that having a commissioned piece from an artist that you really like is obviously a lovely luxury, right? It's something that you didn't think you'd be able to do, but it's one of those like, oh yeah, go on, that'd be lovely about that. But the artwork that you originally saw of theirs that inspired you to think, oh, I would go and approach them. It's like, that's the piece you probably should have got. Yeah. Not an original, an original piece, but not a bespoke piece.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's, you've got to be a bit more. You do have to be careful when it comes to, specific artists, because you collect a lot of comic artwork yourself, like pages, don't you?
Not a massive amount, because I'm not one for putting it in a portfolio like big collectors do, because they buy.
You display.
So long as I've got the wall space for it, I will collect it. So realistically, I haven't. Yeah, compared to a lot of collectors, I've got bugger all. But that's only because I want to put it on the wall. I want to look at it. I don't want to just put it in a. But
I know what you're saying. You have key pieces that are. I don't want to use the word spectacular, but you have key pieces that are very, very impressive, which I would rather walk past and see them than know you've got them in the vault.
Exactly. Everything I've bought, I'll never sell.
No,
because I bought it because I love it.
Your boys will. Fucking sharpish.
That's up to them. I'll be long gone. But yeah, so everything. I don't buy anything because, especially in comics, because it's got character X in and blah 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 blah. I don't buy it for that. I would rather buy it because I look at it and go, I really like that.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's my one and only reason for buying something.
I had to stop myself from buying first appearances in comics because I realized it was no different from having a reprint of the exact same story.
Well, true.
Just the idea of having I've got that. Was it Spider-Man 129 first Punisher?
Oh, right.
I had that, and I was really pleased. And then I was like, I'm not reading it because it's too fragile to read. Yeah. And then if I'm not reading it, why am I keeping it in a long box somewhere?
Yeah.
What's that doing? Like, sell it and then use the money to go do something else. Yes. I don't know. I will say the only thing I do have an original of is the 2 issues of Rolling Stone magazine that had Fear and Loathing in from the 70s, part 1 and part 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was serialized in...
It came out in 2 issues.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, part 1. Because in the book it's part 1 and part 2.
Oh, right.
And it's literally like centerfold of... Because it was back when Rolling Stone was like a broadsheet newspaper, which was then folded and folded again.
Yes,
So when you folded it out, it would just be pages of text with like Ralph Steadman's put every now and then.
Wow.
And then the middle of it was a full double page of the sort of the cityscape, and then Dr. Gonzo like in the car driving. That's the middle page.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
It was very nice. I'll bring around one day.
Yeah.
But I collected those for a while when it was the original.
Well, you see, I used to. Yeah, I mean, not to. Yeah, magazines are a funny thing because I used to when Empire first started, and I didn't get Empire when it first started. I remember starting to buy it when Jurassic Park first came out. So that was,
93,
yeah. So, and at first, because it was still quite a relatively rare thing to have a magazine with a spine then.
Right.
So you could rack them.
Yeah.
You could put them up and you could see every single. So for about 2 or 3 years, I think I collected Empire.
I was Total Film. I did the same.
Right. And then after a while, I thought, I'm not going to read these again. And then I just got rid of them all.
My mum does it though.
And I just read a magazine like I read a normal magazine. I still get Empire, but I'm done with it. But I've just stick in the recycling. Yeah.
My mum, because mum's an interior designer, she would get Home Decoration magazine or like Elle Home, like any of the sort of those magazines, and mum would always keep them because mum would be like, no, because there could be an inspiration in there.
Yes,
for like,
use it as reference.
Use it for reference, do all those things. So I always have that mentality when it comes to film mags. So I'm like, oh no, but I might want to go back and try and remember that film that But
I bet your mum's never. Do you reckon she's ever gone back? Because I always think the problem with that, if you get that many magazines, unless you're being really, really particular
about knowing where everything is,
and somehow putting it in a place that are certain things in that magazine. Yeah. If you're just literally racking them and you've got years worth, how the hell are you going to find anything? Oh, I'm inspired. You think I'm inspired to do this. Oh, let me look through the magazines.
Yeah, I'll ask her.
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing her at the weekend. I'll ask her. What are you doing with all those magazines? But no, I still kind of do it with Scream magazine. I've been getting Scream magazine for the last few years. and I put them on my shelf after I've read them. I keep them very wonderfully next to the toilet.
Of course.
So Kirsty and I will read them in our own pace, and when a new one comes in, I swap out. But they're quite good, I do think, for keeping, purely because of their. It's not like they do like the chronological of all of the Howling films or something, or they do all these zombie films or all of these Frankenstein films, and sometimes it is like, oh, that was mentioned, or how Bill Morrison was mentioned as the artist for the poster when they did all the House ones, and then that was how I was able to be like, oh, I really like Bill's poster for House. So when it comes to those things, like I do understand how you could reference it, because I guess to me, it's like, well, they were talking about the House films, and that's where I saw Bill's name, so it's going to be in that issue.
Right.
Whereas to us, we look at, like, well, wallpaper's wallpaper. Whereas to my mum will be like, no, that'll be the trend that was in the 90s that was using this.
Yeah,
sure. Be there. And so I guess it is that sort of, your own filing system in your head, I
Probably.
guess.
Oh, God, yeah.
I bet if I asked my mum would be like, I ain't got a fucking clue.
Oh, no, well, as you probably see, as you know from my house, I'm a bit of an obsessive filer. You know, albums over there, alphabeticized. For ease of.
I have friends who don't do alphabeticized. They just put them on a shelf.
Oh,
like a fucking
how do you find
Neanderthal.
anything?
It's not about it's the wonderful discovery you go on just looking at the spines. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? No, like I can't do that. I will give you chronological of release.
Yeah,
because you might be feeling like, oh, I want to watch something from the 80s. I'll give you that. Or I want to listen to something from the 80s. I'll give you that. Or if you block all of your, you block all your Bowies together. You do alphabetized by artists.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you were to do that with film as well, I'd give you that. But when it's just haphazard, new one, that's just at the end of the shelf, and it's like, but that Zulu is next to an A. What are you doing?
This is madness.
Yeah, I can't.
No, I tend to. I'm going to annoy you now because I haven't alphabeticized my Blu-rays and stuff. But there again, I probably will. I am going to start because it's the collection's not massive.
It's just drawers.
It's in the drawers.
Yeah.
So I never alphabetized my DVDs, and you're slowly starting to swap over. Yeah. So I kind of see no point to that. And really the Blu-rays aren't that massive amount yet. I've got them in certain sections. I've got like all the horror ones, all the sci-fi ones, all the thrillers, whatever, dramas, blah, 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 blah. So they are sort of sectioned off. It's not just one massive row of everything.
Film.
Yeah. But there again, I don't know. Yeah, it's different to music because, not many people rack 'em genre and alphabeticize. I haven't got my rock section, then my funk section, and do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You just alphabeticize that. Whereas films, I don't know, it's weird. With films, you do tend to genre separate them. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be very surprised that there's many collections that have, I don't know, Magnolia and then, I don't know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre next door to each other. Do you know what I mean? Well, obviously that's wrong in the alphabet as well.
No, but
Magnolia and Magnum Force. There you go.
I will, because my DVDs are just alphabetized.
They're literally just alphabetized.
So I do have like The Abyss next to Akira.
Right.
Yeah, it's that kind of I will have that.
That's both science fiction. But there again, animation. Obviously, I've got my animated ones separate.
Yeah. See that. So when it comes to the DVDs, they are just alphabetical, and then when it comes to the 4Ks, they're in their own separate section. Then all the boutique labels are in their own section.
Yeah.
Then all the Criterions are in their own section.
Yes.
And then the Blu-rays are just alphabetical. So I'm all over the place.
with mine. I would, if space wasn't an issue, I would have it like a blockbuster, and I'd do it by genre, and I would have them. I'd have I'd have like a little library that looks like a little blockbuster.
Yeah,
that led into a cinema.
Oh, so you just, as you're going to watch a movie, just snap one off the shelf for your. Yeah.
You'd just be like, oh, and then you just go in.
Yeah.
And then there's every way of watching a film. So if I want to watch a Laserdisc, a video, an old print, I'd have it all.
Oh.
That's how I'd do it. But
the absolute luxury.
It is an absolute luxury. I'll have to just, accept my 55-inch 4K telly in my office, which only has an armchair looking at it and nothing else. And that's just as in my office screening room. The telly downstairs is bigger and better. But anyway. So we've mentioned a lot of horrors. What was the first 18 or X, I guess? Was it X with you?
It would have been an X.
So what was the first X you saw?
American Werewolf. Well, American Werewolf in London. That was the first X I saw because there was no video back then in the cinema. Yeah. So I'd have been, what was American Werewolf? 81? Is it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd have been underage. Ooh. I sneaked in at the tender age of 15. 15?
Now,
21, 15, yeah.
That's the thing. I think I was talking to someone else about American Werewolf.
I might have been 16, actually, depending, obviously. Sorry.
It is an 18 in that sort of like, it is a spooky one. You know?
It's proper scary at the beginning.
Proper scary.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's that classic, the Nazi stuff, that's a fucking shock. That is when,
I always go with the bit where he's in the bed and he's all like, weird, like
it's proper gory.
And Jenny
and
Agutter.
he's got Jenny Agutter with her boobs out.
Let's not gloss over that.
Absolutely. Well, she did like getting naked in the 70s. Old Jenny.
We all like watching it. I'm not going to stop someone doing what they love, but. It definitely is a film.
Now she's a nun.
Is she a nun now?
Not in real. Right. No, acting a nun.
Yeah. The last thing I saw her in was in The Parole Officer.
Oh right, no, she's in that. Film. Oh god, no, she's in that god awful called The Midwife.
Oh okay.
Yes, the classic Sunday evening.
No,
fair.
No, thank you.
Yes, no.
I would sooner.
She's the lead head nun or whatever.
She?
Yeah, yeah. Come up, yes. No, downslide.
No, thank you.
But yes, so American Werewolf. Yeah,
American Werewolf. That's a good one to pick. I think it's a good spooky one, and I think it's one of those ones as well that you feel like you do feel inclined to show it to other people. So have your boys seen it?
I don't actually. You know what? I don't have it. I don't actually. I should. Yes, I know.
There's a 4K of it out. Go get it.
I might have to get it. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't have it. That's now you've mentioned it. That's a weird one because it's a great film.
It is a great film.
It's a weird one not to have.
Rich did a piece of fan art for American Werewolf that he used to sell on his Etsy page.
Yeah.
And then David Norton used it on his website.
Really?
But didn't credit Rich.
Ooh.
But then Rich was like, but I'm selling prints of American Werewolf stuff without your okay.
Yeah, so you can't really,
And I was like, I would have reached out and been like, yo, Dave Norton, eh?
Or you
want to be solid gold.
Yeah, or you just say, hey, why don't we both copyright each other's then? Yeah, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Please sell my prints on your website.
Yeah.
But
I do remember seeing it in the cinema. Definitely. That had a bit of an impact.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah. I don't think I've seen it in the cinema.
Yeah, that was good. That was back at the Empire.
Oh, really?
In Shrewsbury. Yeah. That one was definitely. I can't remember. I wish I could remember my first film I saw at the Empire. It might have been Star Wars. I don't know.
For, I believe, was it Battle of Britain? They had a Spitfire that they suspended from the
outside
In
the Empire.
no way, really.
No, I don't think it was a full-size Spitfire.
Well, no, that would have been quite amazing. yeah.
It was a scaled-down one because there used to be a big black and white photo of it in the staff corridor at the cinema.
Huh,
Yeah.
really?
And the bloke who had a cigarette in his mouth, like roping it down the side of the building, looked just like me. Someone had written Ted with a question mark, put a post-it on it.
Excellent.
And I was like, I don't remember, maybe that was me.
Ooh, spooky.
So what was the first film you considered grown-up?
Well, surely that.
Well, I mean, yeah. So
you mean in terms of more drama?
Yeah.
Rather genre.
I think that's how I've always...
Yeah.
However,
gotcha.
when I think about that question,
Ooh,
I think of it
question.
more in you're watching a film, not a movie.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I do remember going to see, not that it's particularly grown up, but I do remember going to see Grease with my mum.
Okay.
That would be 78, I presume, or 79, depending on when it was, by the time it had come out over here.
Yeah.
That was probably the first non-genre film.
Would you say Grease was grown up, though?
Well, no, that's what I mean, but... That's how I perceived it as a kid, because it didn't have spaceships or.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Or it wasn't animated and it didn't have spaceships or.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that as an answer.
So Grease was definitely a weird one for me to go to, and it was the only film that I never got in to see it the first time because it was sold out, and we literally queued up around the block.
Yeah.
Did that classic thing.
Yeah.
And. Because you couldn't book tickets back then, you just had to turn up.
Yeah, so
So, and we got there and it was sold out, so we had to come back the next day or something. I seem to remember. But yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's what would I have gone to see in the early '80s that wasn't. You've asked me now. That wasn't just constantly going to see bloody sci-fi or horror or fantasy. Or whatever.
I'm trying.
That's a good question.
Would you have got anything on video?
Well, we were quite lucky because we got video quite early.
Did you go straight in for video, or were you was it a V2000 or a?
No, it was straight VHS.
Yeah.
Because I went to
Radio rentals, or did you purchase?
Well, no. I went to Shrewsbury School. But I did an art scholarship as well.
Okay.
So you got money off your school fees.
Right.
So I started there in 79. And I think by 81 or 2, something like that, my dad said, well, let's buy something nice for the family.
Oh, nice. With the money
we've saved.
That's a nice thing.
And we got a VHS recorder, so it's a bloody huge, heavy thing. Because
was it remote on a cable?
We had a remote on a cable, which was basically play and eject. I think that was the only two things.
Else do you need? To be honest, I've lost the remote for my VHS in my office, so I'm actually quite pleased that I'm not too far away.
Oh,
because
right.
if I have to pause it for any reason, I'm like, oh, for fuck.
So the big old chunky buttons and everything. And went straight to VHS. We didn't do Betamax or anything like that.
No. I've never seen a Betamax. Never watched one.
Well, I probably haven't either, because we went straight to VHS. So,
I think if I was to bring a Betamax player into the house, Kirsty might lose her mind.
Got this.
Yeah, another fucking useless piece of physical media.
That means you're going to have to go and buy all these old Betamax. I don't know. Are they even available?
Yeah, you get on eBay. I've looked.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I want to get Jaws on every form.
Oh, okay, right.
And I have it on most. So
right,
I really
okay.
want to get it on all of them.
So, so we had it really early. And I think I totally remember the places I used to get videos from. And the first shop I remember getting VHS from was this shop, which was also on Mardle, where the Empire Cinema was.
Okay.
For any of you guys watching or listening to this that think, what the hell are they talking about? It was a shop. It was like a hi-fi. Well, it just sold white goods, hi-fi, all that sort of.
Okay.
It was called Medlicott's. I remember that.
Oh.
And it was just literally next to the cinema, a couple of doors down.
No, because there used to be the Hoover shop. That
Yes,
is still there.
that's
It's not that place.
No.
Okay.
It's quite a much bigger. I think it's a
Okay.
charity shop now or something.
Right.
But it was a big old place because obviously it was selling loads of white goods, and so it had to be by its very nature. And they started a little video rentals thing at the back.
I do love that about the early 80s, that it was just anywhere.
Yeah, well, there were no specified, this
No.
is so far before Blockbuster or anything like that. So it was just newsagents, little places like that.
It was the petrol station in Shawbury that used to.
Yeah, and you had to have a membership card, so you had your little card, which I paid money for to be a member, even before you could bloody rent anything. You had to pay.
For the privilege.
To
rent
to go with the little card.
Please.
Yes.
And they'd log your number.
And the first film I got was this obscure, cheapo film called Laser Blast.
Laser Blast?
Yes, Laser Blast.
My brain is destroying itself trying to think of any...
It was...
When was this?
I'm trying to think of the guy. He was
Tom
quite...
Selleck?
No, he was quite a famous... The filmmaker, or not the filmmaker, but the guy who produced it was... Charles Band.
Oh.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Famous for loads of cheapy.
Yeah, but Laser
I'm sure
Blast.
it's Charles Band. Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it. Liked it. I didn't liked it. Because it ends up, I think it's about a guy that acquires a laser gun, an alien laser gun, and obviously goes around some cheap sets blowing up things with his laser gun. But at the end of the film, I think it's at the end, or was it the beginning? I can't. Anyway, at some point, there's some stop motion animated alien lizardy dinosaur-y type things with laser guns. Whether they come to take it off him or what, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that's the best bit in the film.
Yeah.
It only lasts for about a couple of minutes, if that. But that's the best bit. And I'm sure... I can't remember the name of the animator. He was a famous at the time, not Harryhausen, obviously, but he was another famous. I think he was a student. No, he wasn't Tippett, but he was a student of Harryhausen, I seem to remember.
Oh, okay.
That had done the animation for that. But I distinctly remember watching that film and it being utterly magical, because you're watching a movie that you've bought.
Yeah.
And you're putting it in this machine.
This is a cinema at home.
The first home cinema experience, because you're choosing to watch it whenever you like.
Whenever
you
watch
like.
that bit again.
Yes.
Back in days.
Oh God, I rarely rewind. I never. If I'm rewinding stuff now, it's because I've fallen asleep and
I've missed it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time I rewind stuff now.
There'll be a different moment where I'll go, wait, what?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah. If
Okay.
I might have missed a line, you just quickly go, I was just constantly rewinding stuff and just watching the effects of, just again and again and again. And I also remember back in the day, a good friend of mine at school, his brother had started up a little video rentals, but way up in Scotland. He lived up in Scotland, but he'd send the odd thing down to his brother. And I got a pirate version of The Empire Strikes Back, probably like within months of it coming out. And it was the most poor quality thing you could ever see. But it was
cameras of that era.
Yeah, but it was still the most, again, I thought Laser Blast was magical. This was on another scale of magic. Excellent. This was like watching a film that hasn't been released on the telly or anything like that, that just come out of the cinemas.
We used to have to wait so long for a video. Remember, it used to be
years.
It was, what was it? It was a year before it would come out for rental, 2 years before you could buy it, 3 years before it was on telly.
Yes, exactly.
3 years. Imagine waiting 3 years to put a film like one of the Fast and the Furious films that come out whenever. It's it's like, imagine you have to wait 3 years before it's just on Netflix. It's so weird that you'd wait so long.
That was great, though. I remember
it made you care, made you want it more.
It was the yellowest film I remember, because all the stuff in Hoth was just yellow. And just all these video bands, and the thing I remember it starting and just sort of going, and then that, it would literally go up like this. The sort of the noise would sort of raise up like that, and be just you could just make out a Star Destroyer.
I think I'm watching Star Wars. I think I am, or it's static. Yes. We're either in space or it's static.
Are those stars? I'm not sure. Yeah. So but still, I watched that lots before the tape broke.
I'm going to find it. Somehow.
So
well,
that was just bonkers to think you watched that sort of quality and thought it was the greatest thing.
Had you discovered Godzilla at this point?
Yes, but I was really the first Godzilla movie I remember watching, and this is when I was a kid. Like, I was probably 9, 10, something like that. I remember King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah. So that's the third Godzilla film out of the actual.
What's the second one?
The second one is, I've forgotten what it's called. But it's got
Godzilla.
But it's Godzilla versus Anguirus.
Okay,
that's the second one, and then it's the King Kong. So it's 63, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Well, memories of movies at home, because obviously this was just on the telly. Weirdly on the telly. It's like, what a thing to put on at some point to fill
I can see that.
Yeah, I remember.
I'd sooner watch that than Call the Midwife on a Sunday.
Well, absolutely, yes. But I just remember, because I didn't know it was on. I remember coming in about halfway through and it was just on the TV. My mum and dad had sat there in the living room. I was just watching the telly, as you do, as that age. And it was it's just before they start fighting. So there's just shots of a train going through a valley, and I was thinking, bloody boring.
Yeah, what's going on?
Telly is.
What's going
on? Oh, they're all Japanese. Why are they all Japanese?
Yeah. I remember watching this foreign film.
Yeah. Well, God, there's even more boring. It's got
subtitles.
Well, no, it was dubbed, but still, and then suddenly, either Godzilla and King Kong's in the distance. You suddenly go, what the hell?
I'm in, Mum.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And again, at the time, to a 9 or 10-year-old, it was just the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen, and
they only get, I'm going to say the word better, but they only get better in their sort of ridiculousness.
Yes, absolutely, I mean?
If you catch them early, like imagine if you'd come in, Mechagodzilla, you'd be like, oh, this is good. What have they done before? And you'd be like, oh, some of them are good. Oh, they're not getting as good. Oh, okay, they're old. If you start with that first old one, you're like, okay, I'm on the journey now.
Yes, exactly. Well, not that I was aware at 9 or 10 or whatever, but I also remember watching. Well, it's because they all had multiple titles back in the day.
Okay.
And it was billed on the television as Monsters from an Unknown Planet. I always remember that, which is such a bloody weird title for a Godzilla film. But it was the 74 Mechagodzilla one. I can't remember what the official title for it is now.
Isn't it just Mechagodzilla now?
Well, no, there was this is the second appearance of Mechagodzilla, because he's been rebuilt by the aliens. It's also got Titanosaurus in, so it's a big 3-way monster mashup. And again, by this time I had a video. This is our post buying the video recorder, and I remember recording it on the television when it was on.
Nice.
And I must have played that to death. And I remember constantly talking about rewatching stuff, constantly watching the effects over and over and over again, watching Mechagodzilla's hands do the firing off his bloody rockets and the lasers from the eyes and his chest and all this sort of stuff. And the weird way they edited it. It was different editing. I don't know whether I noticed that as much back. I was kind of weirdly aware of it, the editing of it.
Right.
The way it was edited with the explosions and everything. It was different to, kind of Western
editing,
shall we say. But yeah, I just loved all. I just remember poring over that film.
And now you've got your Criterion.
I have my Criterion Showa
because
era Godzilla.
You're not a Criterion collector.
Not specifically.
No.
I don't go. I must get the
Criterion.
Criterion.
You're more of an Arrow man. For films wise. You're a mixed bag.
I'm a mixed bag.
You take what you want.
I really should look through the Criterion stuff and get a few more. I've got to admit, because it's not
there
something
are a lot
that
of lovely ones.
Yeah.
But I think I've bought most of the ones I want.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
So I'm getting now to the point where whenever I think like, oh, a new Criterion would be nice, I'm almost being like, well, I've never seen it, but if it's a Criterion, it's probably good.
Yeah.
And I'm not buying it because I want it. I'm buying it because it's like, well, okay, it's Criterion, so
it's going to have a certain quality.
But then it's a bit like, well, that's just a bit snobbish. So
Yeah.
probably shouldn't do that.
Well, I tend to, what I also tend to do a bit more nowadays is, well, similar to kind of what we were talking about right before you got here, before we even started filming, was, when you're a bit more, financially able, I will buy stuff to, inverted commas, help.
Yeah.
The filmmaker or film, like I remember specifically wanting to go and see. Like for instance, I bought the Creator Sight Unseen to help Gareth Roberts because he was obviously doing a good thing with that film and proving a point about how you can make a film that looks $200 million for what was it, 70 or 80 million or whatever.
So good, though, that.
Yeah, it's a good film. I'm glad I bought
beautiful.
it. It's amazing, and I've literally just bought One Battle After Another because I know it didn't do very well at the box office. So it's like, I'll give Paul Thomas Anderson the money, please.
Yeah, and I've actually thought recently that because Punch Drunk Love is, I think, his only film that's on Criterion.
Really?
I think so.
Do you know, there's one director that really needs a box set. Why haven't they never done a box set of Paul Thomas Anderson movies?
Did that Peter Strickland box set, which we both got.
Which is a lovely, beautiful package.
They've also got a Wim Wenders one,
right.
And I think there's a Haneke one that they also did for Curzon.
Yeah.
But it's like, you do one for P.T. Anderson.
Yeah.
Because Inherent Vice, I'm not a massive fan of. But
that's the only one I've not seen of his, actually.
I would happily rewatch it to see how I feel about it.
Right.
But the man doesn't miss, in my opinion. He makes a good fucking film.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the last directors that is making grown-up adult films that aren't being sort of quippy and jokey. They're funny. But they're also films. They're telling a beautiful story. I won't talk too much about One Battle because you haven't seen it yet.
No.
But
that occasionally, and I've been to the cinema.
It might be the best thing I've seen this year.
Oh, okay. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great. Good. I can't wait.
And,
No, I mean, I can't. There was. Well, I did go. I can't remember what I went to see. Not that long ago, I went to see something very specifically because I thought I could sit at home and not go and see it and just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray and watch it here and blah 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 blah. But then I thought, no, I'm going to give this guy my money because I want to see. Oh no, actually, tell a lie.
Superman, wasn't it?
No, it was June.
Oh,
because of course when June first came out, it was kind of still not lockdown, but it was all a bit still. Oh, you're going to cinema,
Yeah.
And be careful, sort of thing. And I was like, no, I want to see June 2. So the only way we're going to see June 2 is to go and watch fucking June at the cinema.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically thinking, and obviously I wanted to go and see it. It's not like I was doing him a service.
Denis is desperate.
Exactly.
It's those Dune films are good.
But I do remember thinking, no, I'm definitely going to see this at the cinema.
No, I completely agree. And I think, that I will, wherever possible, I will buy a physical version of a film that I love because I know that that's the only way that they're, they're getting any proof that things have worked. And I know there's a lot of those people that are out there that sort of say like, oh, well, Leo got 25 million to be in one battle after. What does he care? And it's like, it's not about that. It's about proving that this director or this set of filmmakers is a return on their investment good enough for the studio for them to make that punt again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's all I need them to do.
Yeah.
And if my 20 quid goes towards buying a Blu-ray or a 4K of it for them, then I feel like I'm doing my part. You've made something, I'm going to pay to consume it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm not going to take the piss and try and watch it for free. Or,
No,
yeah, because
especially when it's in its initial run.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I buy secondhand DVDs, you know me. If a film's been out for years, you know, if you can get it in a charity shop, I don't feel bad about buying it secondhand. If I'm buying an old 90s film on DVD, I don't care.
yeah,
But if it's a new film, then I like it a lot, then I think it should be bought. And, you know, I bought After Hours when it came out on 4K on Criterion. It's an old Scorsese film. He doesn't need to know, but it's like, no, but I want you to know that that's appreciated as well. That
yeah.
you're upscaling,
Well,
you're caring.
you want to know it's worth. There's a market that's still that's worth investing in.
Yeah.
You know, and if we don't invest in it, what the hell? What chance is there?
Well, then Netflix fucking wins,
Yeah.
you know? And then they get to churn out shit for nothing. Fuck 'em. Unless you ever want to put one of my films on Netflix, then...
Yeah, just retract that straight away. No, yeah, you can always edit that back.
I love how much of any historical interview I might have to delete. Because there's so many interviews where I'm like, cinema, man, it's where it's at. Fuck streamers. And then when it's like, you said fuck streamers. Well, delete all of those. Jesus Christ, I know what I'm talking about.
Well, cinemas is very much like the railways in this country. In terms of, you know, if you want to put people on trains, give us a good service.
Yep.
You know, and stop overcharging for us. You know, and cinemas are. I completely rail against this sort of especially. Okay, there are good cinemas out there. Don't get me wrong, but your general cinema, especially around here, your experience of going to cinema is utterly crap and redundant. It's horrible. Especially the Empire, especially Cineworld in Shrewsbury. It's bloody horrible.
It is bloody horrible. You know? I will always go to Telford.
Yeah,
and
that's the only reason to go to Telford.
They've got
what else?
Wagamama's. That's another reason.
That is okay. Fair enough. All right, Wagamama's.
That's about it.
And an IMAX.
Yeah. No,
that's it.
I agree. I think
I think that the actor cinema going now in those sort of terms is just deeply unpleasant.
But I will say,
and overpriced.
Cinemas overcharging for the tickets. From working at a cinema, I know that a cinema only makes its money on the concession stand.
I know that too. Yeah.
So cinema tickets going up, sure, that is a reaction to not as many people going to the cinema, which, you know, both parties have to take ownership on that.
Yeah.
We're not going to the cinema and we're illegally downloading or watching things on thingy. That's on us. But also studios make things that are worth going to the cinema. Dune, we all go to the cinema. Oppenheimer, I don't care for Nolan, but we all went to the cinema.
We all went. Remarkably, we all went to the cinema for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
it's you've got to put those things in.
Yeah.
I also think that the filmmakers have to fucking cool it with their fees, because if Leonardo DiCaprio or I don't know how much fucking
Robert Downey Jr.
RDJ's asking, you know what I mean?
It was something like 60 or 70, 80, I can't remember. It was a lot of
If
millions.
that's how much money you're already in the hole before you've even started shooting.
And that's not including, if we're talking Avengers, that's not including Chris Hemsworth and all the other guys in it, you know, that are also charging. That film's in the hole almost 200 million for actors.
Before doing any of your VFX.
Running a single frame of
And it's,
Yeah.
I just think like you all need to calm down with that, because your greed is only going to hurt the consumer, the cinema goer.
Yeah.
The cinema is going to die because you keep asking for more money. The studios pay more money. Budgets then have 350 million, and then they're surprised, well, they didn't make any money back. Of course they fucking didn't make any money back. 350 million.
Yeah,
Like, how much money did Jurassic Park make? Like, I know it's in the billion club now, but how much money did that make in its initial weekend run? Like, 350 million would be you'd be blown away if a film made 350 million. Now films have to make 350 million to break even.
Of that scale. Well, no, they have to make double virtually.
Double to get your marketing.
Yeah, so
like, I think
that's crazy. It's
5
utterly
to 10 million mark is where most films should be made. I think they shouldn't be made for 10 million because that's a bonkers amount of money. 10 million should be spent elsewhere.
Well,
but...
it's an absurd amount because, well, the thing is, well, with someone like, I'm quite surprised Leonardo DiCaprio asked for that much, because I kind of rate him with a bit more, for want of a better word, with a bit more honour than that. If he's doing a movie with, because he's not done a movie with
PTA,
no. So I assume he wanted to make a movie with him.
But if you're in SAG unions or any of those unions, there is an actual minimum you can accept. And obviously, 25 million is not the minimum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then there's also...
I know that, yeah.
Like, I guess he might have done 25 million to be in this film, but it might also be one of those things of like, I can't be seen to do a favour for you for 5 million. You know what I mean? Which I think is shitty.
Or they might have come to him, I mean, this is obviously all just, we're hypothesising, aren't we? But they might have come to him and said, we got this film, the budget is whatever it was, 150 million. Yeah. So you ask for scale on that, you know, and you're the big star. So he goes, 25? You know, I don't know.
And also, but obviously those scales change when, you know, when you were first getting your video player, you were happy with a recorded copy of Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
And now your 4K home cinema, you're a bit more like...
discerning.
A bit more discerning. So obviously, you know, just through your own evolution of like however your own setup goes, you do look at things and you're like, 25 mil is not a lot. I do the Avengers for 60, so 25 is nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, and also...
Well, comparatively, it is nothing compared to Downey Jr., you know.
And
it's a third... It's a third
if he's
as
taking
much.
25, his agent's taking 10%.
The equivalent,
his
the
PR company, his management.
Yes, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, of that 25, he's probably only taking 10. And then you might be getting, like, taxes on top of that if that's not already in. I'm not saying...
The government defending.
I'm not saying, 20... How can we live on 25?
I know.
But...
You see, the thing also is, like, when you take that amount of money as well, the pressure, especially for someone like Downey Jr., the pressure on... for that film to...
That would destroy me.
Yeah, but the pressure... the pressure on...
You got 80 million on me.
I think... It's not so bad. I don't think it's so bad for something like One Battle After Another, because it's the problem with the unknown quantity of the film. It's not based on. It's not a franchise. It's not based on an unknown. It's not based on a property. Blah 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 blah. It's something totally original. So that always comes with a series of risks.
Yes.
Something like Downey Jr. taking that amount of money for a franchise that has a certain guarantee of making at least a certain amount of money. But the pressure is on for him specific. This could ruin his career in a lot of ways, because if it doesn't perform, there's no way he's ever going to demand that much money for starters.
No.
It could really damage him, because it'll make him a non-bankable star. Because that movie is basically billed as Downey Jr. in, you know.
Makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just like he must have the world's greatest agent.
I mean, that's the thing. Maybe that's another thing. Though, if he said to them, "I'll come back for 80 million, but no one will ever see me act again." You know what I mean? This might be his retirement film, which I wouldn't begrudge him that. You know what I mean?
No, I suppose.
If
I could retire on 80 million.
Could you?
Yeah,
Do you reckon you could?
Just about. Yeah.
Dream bigger, Charlie. I'll be lucky to retire on 80.
I just don't understand. Sometimes you just don't understand it because he'd got big. He'd done the big. He'd done Iron Man, and he went out on a blaze of glory, and it was brilliant. It's like, Robert Downey Jr. Then he did bloody Dr. Dolittle, which was an utter. I'm not seeing it, but from what I heard,
it didn't do any numbers.
It didn't do any numbers, and it was a terrible film by all accounts. And then he managed, remarkably, it's like his second revival almost.
A little,
to do Oppenheimer and sort of like win an Oscar and look, I can act, everyone.
Remember, I can
you
act.
remember I can actually do this acting lark and actually be a character.
Because that is annoying. Like when he did Chaplin.
Yeah,
he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. Yeah.
And I was really annoyed that it was like, oh, but you're just playing yourself as Iron Man. You're not playing Iron Man. And I thought, like, when they were saying, like, oh, RDJ deserves an Oscar for Endgame, I was like, he doesn't.
No,
he does. Because we've seen him in Oscar-winning performances.
Yeah.
And he wasn't doing one in that. He was just doing himself.
Win an Oscar for quipping.
Right?
Yeah.
If that's what we've got
He dies quite well at the end, but...
It's not the best death.
No, not the
there
best
are deaths
death.
that have definitely hit me harder.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I wasn't in tears.
No.
Yeah.
But we've mentioned a few films. Godzilla. For some reason, I brought up Godzilla earlier, but I assumed it was going to be for this one. But what film holds a special place in your heart?
Oh. Well, there's the obvious one, obviously, over there. The Thing.
Debbie Does Dallas.
That's a classic.
Hey. It's classic for a reason.
I mean, I know it's a horrible cliche, but I have to go back to Star Wars, actually. Because I don't think, if it wasn't for Star Wars, would I even be doing what I'm doing now?
Oh, really? You think that's...
It seemed to legitimise everything all of a sudden. In what I liked, what I did, even back then as a 11, 12-year-old.
Any Star Wars stuff?
Oh, good God. As soon as I saw Star Wars, I was drawing it all the time.
Falcon,
Jesus.
Falcon. Okay.
I just drew. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, the impact of me of Star Wars is like a comic artist saying the impact of Jack Kirby on their superhero sort of career. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that sort of just huge. And I have to. It's one of those things you don't realise it at the time, obviously, but then you look back on it and go, Christ, that was, it's not my favourite film of all time.
No, but it definitely,
it's a great film. It's in my top 20. I don't know, but it's
Jurassic Park is for me.
Yeah,
because it was the first time I was aware of who and what a director was.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this Steven Spielberg guy, he seems like he's doing
quite good. He is. Yeah.
And I think I'd seen Hook.
Right.
Before that.
Oh dear.
Hey, we're all allowed a miss. And it was the same deal. It was that, like, had I not seen that film, would film be the same thing for me?
Right.
It's that film. I can pin it on that film.
I reckon I'm not 100% sure, but because I'm a bit blurry on when I realised, things like directors and whatnot, but it was probably something like, it would have been 82, like The Thing and the double whammy of The Thing and Blade Runner, being John Carpenter, Ridley Scott, and I do remember being so excited for Legend when that came out because it's Ridley Scott, and seeing the visuals from it to begin with, which I mean, they are still bloody stunning visuals.
Yeah.
And considering most of that is a film set as well.
Yeah.
It's especially back in what that would have been 84, 85. Especially back then when you're filming indoor for outdoor, it always looks indoor, regardless. That didn't look indoor.
No.
That
really
looked genuinely outside.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, the film's not that great. It's got Tim Curry in his darkness.
Yeah,
he saves it.
He looks amazing.
He's amazing, and he's amazing in it. And that's one of the greatest, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest villains of all time in that. And he could have been in it. He should have just been him for 2 hours.
We have a Maleficent, but for that.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, we could imagine that would just be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Who would you get to play him now?
Tim Curry is such a unique.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It would be a Skarsgård, wouldn't it? Because it's the same. Like,
but they
eyes.
haven't. But he hasn't got that voice, that look. It's just his look, and the voice is just that beautiful, rich English sort of posh
There's
kind
so
of.
much good stuff in there.
Yeah. But and also the thing, John Carpenter. I was aware of John Carpenter all of a sudden, and together with Ridley Scott, they were like, oh yeah, I'll go and see anything by these two guys, and. Shame that
I bet say how you've been let down.
It's so great on both occasions.
It's so weird that it's two directors that their hits are some of the best parts of like Western cinema, and their misses are some of the biggest parts of hit you've ever seen. It's just like, oh.
Yeah. And both, and I got fans of them. I got fans of both of them at their best movies.
Yeah, that's a good timing as well, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I had to be introduced to Alien and Blade Runner because it was before me.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and John Carpenter... Halloween was the first... no, Assault on Precinct 13 was the first John Carpenter film I saw.
Okay.
It was late night.
Wow. Okay.
It was late night. Wasn't meant to be watching it. It was on Channel 5 or something.
Right.
And there was I was watching it and I was like, what is this? This seems... I think I've heard of this. What is this? And then the little girl gets shot.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that and being like...
Oh, my God. Yeah,
we shouldn't be watching this. Oh, my God. And told my dad the next day, like, I watched that Assault on Precinct 13 last night. And he was like, it's a good soundtrack, that. And I'm like, it is, isn't it?
Right.
So I saw that and then I saw Halloween before I left school.
Right.
So when I discovered Carpenter, I had the luxury of being told these are the good ones.
Yeah.
Enjoy them.
Very cool.
I only watched Prince of Darkness for the first time the other week.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying yes, not great.
Not great.
No, not great. See, I didn't have you were lucky to have a dad that had that sort of connection with. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I love my dad and we bonded actually over comedy.
Oh,
me
nice.
and my dad. We liked the same comedy. I went to see Life of Brian with my dad.
Lovely.
And he loved Python.
Excellent.
And I always remember going to see Life of Brian at the cinema. And we were definitely underage for that one. It was me and a friend and my dad. He took us both. And because my dad's atheist, he was atheist basically, so he loved this movie.
Go on,
and
rip it apart.
And there was the bit where where Brian's got his followers, and there's the bit where he just it's after he's done all the where he falls into the ravine, and there's, I've forgotten the name of the guy. There's the Terry Jones character, the hermit guy, and all that. And he just goes, "No, why didn't you all just fuck off?" And then John Cleese goes, "Lord, how shall we fuck off?" All that. And that's the first bit of proper swearing in it, I remember. Yeah. And being well, 79, 80, so being a 13, 14-year-old or whatever, thinking, shrinking in my seat, waiting for the swear word, and almost dreading it because I'd bought the bloody book before. This big, I've still got it, this huge, it's big old volume, the Life of Brian. And of course, Python would do the screenplay, and then half of it was similar to what they did with Holy Grail, and then the rest of it was just, kind of comedy book stuff that they'd do back in the day, and so I'd already poured over the screenplay because I was already a Python fan at that age, and so so I was just thinking, oh shit, there's this bit where they swear.
It's gonna pop off.
My father's going to. Oh, what about The weird thing was, I didn't care about. I was perfectly fine with all the full frontal nudity. With my dad, it was like, hey, But the swearing was like, because my dad didn't swear basically.
Okay,
that's probably why I'd never heard him swear.
But he was always full frontal nude.
Yeah,
even in the shop.
Yes. So, what can I get you today?
Cigar? Churchill or a Petit Corona?
So, anyway, I just remember sitting down, it was kind of coming, and I was like starting to shrink in my seat even more, thinking, oh. And when the line came, my dad just burst out laughing.
Excellent.
And I was like,
we're safe.
Safe, yeah. Because my dad hadn't read the script, so he was seeing it just sight on the scene and just,
but was loving it,
enjoying it. But yeah, we bonded over comedy. We bonded over cartoons. He loved cartoons. Nice. He would just piss himself over Tom and Jerry and Warner Brothers cartoon. He liked exactly the same cartoon because I didn't like Disney. He didn't like Disney, like the shorts.
Yeah.
We went to see obviously the
big
films,
stuff, sure.
But the shorts we had no time for. But he loves the anarchy of Warner Brothers and of Tom and Jerry. He would just howl with laughter when, when an anvil would fall on Tom and he'd emerge anvil shaped, going beep, beep, blinking in the all that stuff. So, but when it came to movies like non-comedy or whatever, he'd still take me, but we had no real. He wasn't really. He liked movies, but his movies were 30s and 40s. Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney, W.C. Fields, all that sort of stuff. So I kind of liked W.C. Fields. I liked, even as a kid, I liked that sort of acerbic humour. Marx Brothers, I enjoyed them. Again, Groucho Marx, that acerbic, insulting, sarcasm, all that sort of stuff was great.
And that's really early. Like that you can see the influences of absurdist comedy in Groucho. In Marx Brothers,
100%.
Bonkers and like, how did you get there? Like, how did your brain get to that point?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I always remember again when I was young. There's I can't remember what Marx Brothers movie, but there's a bit where Harpo's just leaning against the wall, and they walk past them and go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm holding the wall up," and they just go. So he moves away and the wall falls down. It's great stuff like that. It's just brilliant. Yeah. So, but going back to what we were originally saying was like, I think discovering Carpenter and discovering Ridley Scott and all that stuff was a purely on my own sort of thing. Right. There was no one to say. Yeah, like your dad saying, or your dad going, great soundtrack or anything like that. My dad was blissfully unaware of movie soundtracks or anything like that, So it would be like, he would go and take me to Star Wars or whatever and just sit there smoking his cigar and enjoying it or whatever.
It's the film of the time.
Yeah, exactly. But you ask him about Star Wars, he wouldn't have had a clue, So... post seeing it, but whereas I was just
got to get as much information as I can.
Just absorbing all these directors and
just make sure you don't crush it.
All these these directors and it was that early 80s period where I was becoming aware of John Landis, John Carpenter, all the classics, and then getting aware of also getting really into soundtracks as well as a kid. So being aware of John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith, tries to think of other people, can't.
James Newton Howard?
Yeah, but he's a lot later, isn't he?
But he's still in.
Still around. Oh,
Howard, you know him.
Sorry?
Did you say Howard Shore?
Howard Shore, but he's a lot. Yeah, he was more sort of 90s, isn't he, Howard Shore?
Yeah.
Going further. I mean, yeah, God, I love Howard Shore. I mean, the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
I'm just trying to think of all the people
phenomenal.
I guess I think that's the problem, isn't it? Because like for me, when I was growing up, all the films that were
what's his name? Who died? Not recently, quite a while back. He did the Alien. He did the soundtrack. Well, he did the soundtrack to Star Trek 2, Aliens. He followed on from certain people, but then he became his own. He did Titanic.
James Horner.
James Horner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's part of that whole 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah.
No, I think because I was a different generation, obviously, I think that all the 80s and 90s stuff, the composers get lumped in the same one for me because they were in my head, 80s and 90s films are in the same bracket. 70s films are in a different bracket.
Yeah.
60s are in a different bracket and then newer. But 80s and 90s were always like, anything from the 80s and 90s is about the same. Obviously, growing up, I've changed that view. But I put those kind of scores in with the same thing. But yeah, I think, having people to direct you into not direct you into a taste, but sort of like going, that is good, that's always a nice thing. And having like your dad being, laughing along with Python, that could have easily have gone the other way where you're, dad doesn't like it. Well, then I've got to love it more. Or,
I think I'd have been very disappointed. Because I
didn't have a sense of humour.
Yeah, well, I because we thought we did share this sense of humour, so I think I've been really disappointed if he didn't like it because I knew he liked Python. Because I remember sitting there watching, the old TV show with him, and I must have seen at least Holy Grail before. I can't remember. I might not have done actually. I can't remember
Holy Grail
now.
Was the first one I saw.
Right, but
Dad got me that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dad also introduced me to Vic and Bob.
Sorry?
Dad also introduced me to
No way.
Not really, as in
the show, not personally.
No. So it was because of Dad that wow. I am just aware of Vic and Bob. And,
oh my God.
Yeah,
that is really cool. How old would your dad have been? So that was what?
Dad's 73.
So he would have been what? Vic and Bob were like mid to late 80s when they started, wasn't it? So he'd have been what? Late 30s?
Mid to late 30s, because that's when I was.
I suppose that's a good age to be into that.
Yeah.
You're
and
not,
also,
because you're not being all huffy and puffy and traditionalist at that age.
Definitely not Dad.
No.
But and I don't know whether Dad had ever seen Vic live.
Oh right,
because
of course. Yeah.
Dad was, in and around London at that time when those guys would have been doing their
they're doing the thing at that. I can't remember where the pub they used to do it at, wasn't there? There was a specific. Remember. Anyway, yeah.
But so I don't know if he ever saw him. So it might have been like. Because I remember he went and saw French and Saunders live, and he said that was the weirdest thing seeing those guys live because it was like, you're bigger than, I've only ever known you of people on the telly. So it's weird that seeing you live. And whereas with Vic and Bob, he's like, no, that just seems like such a accessible, that's for everyone. Everyone should love this. But
gotcha. Yeah. Very cool. Oh.
So what is your controversial opinion on a famous film?
I don't like the Nolan Batman films.
Fucking ain't right.
Is that controversial enough?
It is. And I agree with you 100%. I don't mind Batman Begins.
No, that's the best of the three.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And I don't like them. I can sort of appreciate them for what. Yeah, there's elements. Sure. There's elements in them that are good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, they're not badly made films.
Exactly. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a guy running around in a bat suit. Yeah, put on the stupid voice.
Yeah, get fucked.
And that's why it clashes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Nolan's trying to do Batman for real.
Yeah.
And yet he gets bloody Bale to do the stupid voice.
Like, if you want to do Batman for real, he would be in the shadows, mercenary. Maybe he's covering his face.
Yeah.
He'd be doing that. He wouldn't be wearing a bat suit. Also, if he was doing Batman for real and Batman or Bruce Wayne wanted to clean up this town, he'd do it by running for office. Like, I know his dad did it.
But exactly. Yeah,
I just think in that world, that Batman does not work.
Doesn't work. Yeah, exactly.
And you can. I feel like Matt Reeves' Batman proved that you can do a slightly more serious world.
Yeah,
but also embrace the absurdity.
Yes, I totally agree, because it almost went so dark it came out the other side.
Yeah.
Because the Nolan ones are dark, and I'm not just talking about colour palette, I'm just but themes. But Matt Reeves comes along and literally just piles it on so much that it's kind of okay. Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
I can get that.
Yeah.
You got what's his name going around looking like a proper emo kid. And you're going, I can get this, because
Also showing the black paint around the eyes for the first time.
Yeah.
Because when Keaton rips it off in Batman Returns, and it's like black paint, nothing.
Yeah. Hey, what happened there?
Some fucking wet wipes with you, man. Jesus Christ. No, I'm pleased to say that about Batman.
No, that's the only bit I don't like about the Burton films, is when he does take the mask off, because it's also, he rips it off and it's the rubber sort of serrated sort of bits of rubber, and you're going, that's just emphasizing the fact of what it is, and it's not meant to be that though. It should be some sort of highly sophisticated kind of.
It's just a rubber mask.
Yeah, and you're peeling off, and it's all this serrated sort of thing. It just gives it away. It's almost like revealing your special effect. You say, this is how we do it, kids.
It's just latex. It's fine.
Yeah. No, but that's the only bad thing about Batman Returns, because that's the best Batman film. Well, apart from the '66 Batman.
There's nothing wrong with those first two Batman films. Oh, the '89 and '92.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with those Batman. They are the best Batmans.
Yeah,
by far. That one, then the Batman, and I think Ben Affleck got a.
He could have been a good
shot.
He could have been a good Batman if he was in a non-Zack Snyder.
100%. I think he would have been an excellent. And
he had the chin.
Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, fine. Absolutely.
Perfect as Bruce Wayne.
Well, that's the only saving grace to the Nolan ones, is the fact that Bruce Wayne is finally more interesting than Batman.
Yeah, he's doing things.
Yes. Whereas, that's the only bad side to the Burton ones, is Bruce Wayne might as well not exist.
Yeah, he's such a damp piece of lettuce.
Yeah, exactly.
Throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. You just want him to get back into costume.
I don't believe that you could get Vicky Vale. Yeah, I believe that Batman could.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. No, I agree with that one.
Yeah. I suppose I've already voiced my other controversial opinion, which is about cinemas.
Yeah. I think that's...
Yeah, every podcast you listen to about the cinema, they're always waxing lyrical about the cinema. I was thinking, no, my experience, especially in the last 20 years of going to the cinema, is uncomfortable seats positioned in the wrong way, that your head's being tilted forward, so you can't. So you seem to be watching the film with your eyes sort of trying to look up that way.
You're having to tilt the whole shit
your neck up. Yeah. It's not comfortable.
Do you go to the Odeon Lux in Telford? With the
recliners? I know, I haven't been. I mean, I've done an Everyman cinema a couple of times.
Right.
And that's very nice.
So I went to the Odeon Lux to see One Battle After Another. And I tell you, when you've got a 2.5 hour film and you can sit there like that.
Very nice.
Also, because the little table, I just empty all my pockets. I put it all there, so I'm not like worried about shit getting in the thing.
Or you're not uncomfortable, or holding on to something, or worried about something falling out of your pocket.
There, bottle of water. Good. Excellent. I would say the Odeon Lux is
right.
And I've got I think it's. I can't remember how much a ticket to the Odeon Lux is now.
Is it not? Is it much more or not much more?
I don't think it is much more. I think it might only still be £12 a ticket.
Oh, it's not much more.
You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
couple of quid more than.
I'm happy to.
You're
pay
happy to pay that. I'm
that.
not happy to pay the odd time I have been
to Shrewsbury.
Yeah, trying to think when I last went. It was probably something with, weapons. Yeah, because
cool.
Dylan and I went because Dylan wanted to see it as well. So
last thing I
my
saw
son
was Alien Romulus.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so that was a good time. But yes, you mentioned weapons. What have you been watching recently?
Ooh.
And you can talk about buys that you've got for.
Yeah, well, like I say, I haven't seen much. I mean, it's a really obvious thing to say, but I did quite like Superman.
It was good fun. The only bit I didn't like was when he let himself go full gun, and he did the little music video while Lois Lane was in the energy bubble. I didn't care for that.
All right, you see,
that was a bit too.
I quite liked that, but the bit I didn't care for much was when he goes into the pocket universe and gets in the digital river or whatever it is. All that was a bit like, oh, here I am watching I know. I suppose the thing you're referring to as well was all digital, but that was too obviously digital.
Because you can get they did a lot of work for his flying. You know what I mean? It wasn't just him on a cable.
Yeah.
He's on this rig that's holding his feet, which means it can spin him. You know? His cape is CG. He's wearing a bald cap. They put the hair in digitally so that the wind doesn't get whatever.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
But I actually feel like, although they put a lot of computer graphics into his flying scenes, that was not egregious. I didn't look at that and be like, oh my God. Whereas when we were in that netherworld, whatever, I was a bit like, all right, cool. This is... Now I'm just looking at nothing here.
Yeah, exactly. You're just looking at nothing.
And it just doesn't. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But Superman, it was a good film, and I did enjoy it.
And I am very much looking forward to the sequel or whatever, and even Supergirl, because even her brief appearance in that, you kind of go, "Ooh, yeah, I could enjoy that character for a movie."
I'm having some of that. I don't know what's going on, but I like it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sort of seeing this from some big fanboy franchise. Oh, gotta get into the DC franchise because
You've done Superman though.
I hate all that. What it was a comic.
Yeah,
just a couple of issues. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. Well,
yet another one of the IPs that have blown up since.
Yes. I have no affinity for Superman.
No, as a character, I don't care. I like Man for All Seasons. No, Superman for All Seasons.
Right.
The Tim Sale one.
I mean,
and Red Sun. I like them.
And when I say that, I don't mean like I just don't. I mean,
I like a lot of Jeff Johns actually.
He's fine as a superhero.
He's overpowered. He's always going to win.
Yeah, as a comic fan, I prefer more down to earth super. I'm more in there with Spider-Man, Daredevil, and all that.
If I'm getting
stuff that's less cosmic.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is about as far as I'll go with superheroes.
Right.
I'm not a superhero.
I'm trying to think what I saw, what I have seen that's kind of recently that's just. God, this is awful because really I'm going to have to go back to again, not to repeat myself. It's probably going back to Godzilla -1. That was probably the last film I've seen where I came out and just went, "Fucking hell, that was good."
Oh yeah,
yeah, wow. And we saw that at the IMAX. They put it on the IMAX.
I didn't see
as well.
I missed it.
It was just. Again, this goes back to everything we've been talking about. A film that was really, obviously really well done. Special effects are incredible, and it was made for less than 10 million. Right. Yeah, you go. Right. Yeah.
So it can be fucking done.
Yes.
Right?
This is a film about a giant monster that there's a sequence where it just stomps through good old Tokyo, and it's got crowds, it's got this, it's got that, and you're thinking for less than 10 million. It can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah.
And it was a success.
And it was a massive success. I mean, God knows what that must have made over, in box office because it came to our IMAX in Telford.
Yeah.
This was a subtitled foreign movie.
And they were nominated for an Oscar, weren't they?
It won the Oscar.
Oh, it won the Oscar.
It won the Oscar.
So it proves
well deserved.
that it's like, it can be fucking done, people. 10 million is more than enough.
Absolutely.
And I'm only asking for $500,000 for my films.
It can be done.
It can be fucking done. But no. Okay, well, that sounds good. You picked up a few things as well. You had Fantastic Four, Steelbook.
Yes.
And by the sounds of things, you're probably going to pick up American Werewolf on 4K soon.
By the sounds of it,
It's not a bad choice. But thank you very much for being on the show. It's been lovely talking to you.
My pleasure. No, I've as always, I've had a ball.
Yes, I will say, I think that we've known each other for quite a long time.
Yes.
But it's only within the last few years where we finally started talking films that we were like...
Or for getting together outside of a comic shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
And then being like, oh, you and I think the same about films. Let's talk about films. And then, so I always loved that. I always loved that Lynette would always say, like... Oh, you were late. Oh, was Ted there? Were you talking?
Yes. Yep.
So I do like that. But yes, thank you for coming on. And cheers.
This has been a Lovable Rogue Productions podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened. If you want to help out your life in film, then download it, like it, share it, and give the pod a follow. I didn't realise till starting this that a download is the way they measure success and not just a listen. So, listening means nothing. Make sure you check out my guests on their socials, which will be in the description of the episode. Take a look at my letterboxd. I've made a list of all the films that have been mentioned on the pod. There's fucking hundreds. So you can find some good films there. There are some good ones. There's some fucking weird ones, and I love them. Quick shout out to some of the podcasts I'm listening to. Caliber 9 from Outer Space. That's Robin Joe's. That's really good. And then The Villain Was Right. That's a great fun. Check that out. If you really want to be a mensch, give me that money. There's a link in the description. It'll explain it all. But a download and a share is excellent, and I actually appreciate that a lot more than you'd think. We currently have no sponsors, but I am open to them. I'll shill anything. I don't care. This has been a Lovable Rogue production. Thank you for listening.